another infrequent sojourn to the beach. Yeah, that project's going on. Looks like they're building an extension or something there. They've been working there for a while, but of course we've had such lousy weather last week. They probably they would have got slowed down a bit. Had a chat to my next door neighbour, who I really hadn't had a talk to before, but he was out mowing today. And of course you're getting a lot of mowing because we've had so many wet days that in suburbia people go crazy when the sun comes out, because they've got you just don't know how long it's going to last up here, because if it can be quite changeable. It's still wet season, so we could still cop a bit more rain. Today was supposed to be clear, and the broadcast and the forecast was correct today. They got it right, but tomorrow I think maybe a bit more cloudy apparently, but who knows. I did a little bit of weeding today, not enough. I did some mowing myself. No, he's very nice of him. He actually offered for me to use his motor mower. It's a lot more power than mine, I'm sure, so that'd be good. Yeah, a few people with those electric skateboards out here, sorry, scooters out here as well. But even if mine was working, I wouldn't be using it. I need the exercise. So, although I got plenty of it yesterday, I took the 110 bus, and it required a lot of walking to and from the. Well, I went to my GP, and which is close to the Cook Highway bus stop, so I decided to take the 110. And so that was a good 25 to 30 minute walk to get to that bus, and I got the return bus as well, because the 111 didn't show, which is very unusual. It's a pretty reliable service, but yesterday it didn't turn up, so I decided to take the 110, and I'm glad I did, because I popped into the local pharmacy and I got some important intel about doing RAT tests, rapid antigen tests, which are required before travelling to Vietnam. Apparently chemists can do it, and I wasn't aware of that, as long as they give you an accompanying pathology report, which has to state things like your passport number, your full name, the time that the test was taken, and has to be witnessed. And it's just a little pathology test report. And I don't know whether all the chemists are going to supply that, but that is what's required according to Jetstar. So if I get that, and it's also got the code on it as well, so you need that as well. And you need to upload that in the documentation for Vietnam, which is going to be stopped as of Monday, the day after I'm travelling there. They've decided to not require that at the airport. They're not going to check your vaccination status, your RAT status, and I'm going to get one of the last planes where they're supposedly going to continue doing it, because it's after 9 o'clock at night on Sunday, and Monday they're scrapping it. So unfortunately, just squeezing into having to get the extra bureaucracy, unfortunately. Yeah, apparently there are a lot of wallabies around here. My neighbour was actually saying that 75 of them have been killed on the roads in the last month, and I think he's looking after a couple of baby wallabies. He's giving them milk until they're big enough to take them up to the hills in the rear there, where they let go and into the wilderness. So yeah, it's interesting. I think it's the same kid I saw before. He's done the rounds. Gee, he did that quickly, very quick. So yeah, that was a bit of information. So I've been trying to find a chemist that will do it. I thought maybe Terry White would. My local chemist told me I should go to Chemist Warehouse down in Cairns Central, they'll do it. And I've also discovered that Priceline do it, because I emailed Terry White. They said they don't do it, but Priceline do. And I got that confirmation from Priceline just before. They do that. I'm just going to double check that they'll give me the correct form, because that's really all important. And that will save me major hassles at the airport. Just means I don't have to worry about doing the RAT test at the airport prior to checking in for my international flight. So I want all these things out of the way before I get down there. So all I've really got to do then is get my domestic flight, transfer across the international terminal, and then check in. And you've got up to 4 hours before the flight to check in. So there shouldn't be much stress at all, as long as I've got everything required. And I think I've pretty well got everything, got copies of everything required. So it should work okay. So we'll just see. Anyway, looking forward to seeing the beach again. Of course, my neighbour Greedy doesn't go down the beach much either. It's so typical. You buy a place near a really nice environment like this and you don't check it out. But I am today, because the clock is ticking and I won't have that many other opportunities to do it, so I really need to do it today. There was actually a property along here that was that was advertised. Was it in realestate.com? I'm not sure, but I saw it advertised, and I think it was 1.5 mil. No, it might have been 2.5. It was pretty pricey. Big place. I might see it on the way back. The mowing takes a bit out of me, and my mower is definitely underpowered. It keeps cutting out. And like I said, my neighbour kindly offered to his own motor mower because it's got more grunt. It's Kawara Beach around 4 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon in April, late April. Interested to see if the stinger signs have finally gone down. I mean, it's cooled down quite a bit. We've had a lot of rain, so let's see if it's actually possible to swim. When I get back in June, it'll be in winter. There won't be any restrictions like that. But I don't know what the water's going to be like. It may not be that warm. And I saw a guy do a video from one of the islands in Thailand, and he said the water was really warm when he went in. Sort of reminded me what I encountered in a Tiamat island in Malaysia. It was like jumping into a bath. It was that warm. It's amazing. But somehow I don't think it's going to be quite that warm here. And of course, June, you can have days when it just gets up to about 23 degrees, so it's not exactly balmy, but still possible. You can wade, and I do want to go in the ocean. Once every man and his dog go literally today, or every woman and her dog. There's a lot of them out here anyway. Well, I've run out of my gin. I've finally gone through it all. I'm ginless. I'm going to have an alcohol-free night tonight. Might have a few of them, because if everything goes to plan and I'm back in Thailand on Sunday, I'll be hitting the bars the following night. Try not to get too pissed, but I certainly will be drinking. So it probably it's not a bad thing to have a break. I might have a few drinks on Friday night if Lynn comes through with catching up with me for dinner. I may even stay over at her place on Saturday. She's offered that so that before my flight. So that's not a bad option, and it's much closer to the airport. And I've got to go down there anyway on Saturday to do the RAT test, assuming that they do provide the right documentation. If they do, I'm definitely going to be going down there late afternoon, 4:30 or so, to get the supervised RHT test with my pathology report. Anyway, we'll see. I'll confirm that that's all the case on Friday. I've got to go down to Cairns on Friday anyway. So it'll be 2 days in a row I'll be down Cairns. Yeah, fairly quiet down this end. Usually have a few kids and what have you in the playground and the barbecue area. I'll just take it. Always have a pit stop so I can clean the sand off my feet before putting my sandals back on. Oh, it's just so nice to have a sunny day. 2 in a row, nice. Really nice. I thought maybe we wouldn't see this today, but look, there's actually stinger alerts even now. Now, it is a bit disappointing. I thought the conditions might have got better, but they say go in there if you've got protective clothing. So, a couple of people having a dip. Yeah, I do like swimming in the ocean, so I've got to get off my backside and do that when I return. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.